So maybe we can jump to our other guest, who is probably no stranger to many of you watching the show tonight. What may surprise you is that Mark Paul Gosselaar, who many of you know certainly from the television series Saved by the Bell and now Franklin and Bash on TBS, is not only an accomplished actor, but really an accomplished bike rider. He is a Cat 2 racer, and I was lucky enough to run into Mark Paul but last spring over in France. He was there for his bachelor party at Paris-Roubaix, which is a pretty cool way to have a bachelor party, right?
No,
So
no, we're going to discuss that.
And there he is. Hey, Mark Paul.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us. What was your reaction here? You are a big. I see your D's nuts shirt there as well. You're establishing your cycling cred there. Talk a little bit about what you made of tonight.
Well, I wasn't expecting much from Lance. I mean, if you're expecting him to clean up the sport and he claims to love the sport, but nothing he did tonight was for the sport. This was all for Lance. So that's what I expected. I expected Lance to just make himself, try to make himself look better. I don't know if that's even possible, but I think he attempted it. I'm not disappointed in Lance. I mean, Lance to me has always been Lance. I mean, if you'd have to be an idiot to, over the last couple of years, not know that something was up. In my opinion, I don't like to call people idiots, but in my opinion, it didn't seem natural that he could do what he was doing. A lot of people have discussed it.
Not normal.
A lot of people, called Greg LeMond bitter, and a bitter fat ass when he was talking about numbers back in, I think 2005, when he was talking about numbers with Lance, and saying that it was just not humanly possible to do what he was doing. And we as fans and the media, we just kind of looked over that and said, but it's Lance. Well, yeah, it's Lance. And so what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a guy who admittedly called himself a jerk and a humanitarian. Just to throw it in there, he's a humanitarian, but he was a bully. So we didn't learn anything new, I think, from Lance today. I feel bad for the sport more than anything. So I was hoping that he would say, you know what, I will give you information that could show you that this is an institutional problem, and I will do everything in my power to make sure the future generation doesn't have to go through what we did back in the 90s and 2000 era. Because according to Lance, the East Germans are the villains here.
I think he threw Jens Vogt under the bus with that one. That was a sly kick to the curb by Jens. Jens is like at home going, what did I do to you?
I pulled for you, damn it.
Yeah, some surprising call-outs there. I mean, clearly he has a lot of affection.
That was Jens right there, spitting out and spitting his bratwurst all over the place. That was a real spit, by the way, people. I don't, much like Mark Paul, I'm a method actor. When I go all in, I've got beer now all over my mouth.
Neil, just have your people clean that up for you.
No, I do. Much like you, Mark Paul. I have people. I've been drinking since most of the show, by the way. Not this show, previous.
I was playing a drinking game. Every time he touched his lip, I had a drink.
Oh my God!
Right now.
Good Lord! Every time he blamed somebody other than himself, that was brilliant. I was like, oh, this is going to end up poorly for me. And I got things. I'm a little bit of deadline today. I got to write a little bit of stuff, which I've already done. Just behind the scenes stuff, and I got some stuff to write tomorrow. So I'm gonna finish this off, and I'm gonna call it a night on the drinking. But for all those out there who did, I know some friends of mine who are gonna go out and watch this at certain bars. For God's sakes, get a taxi, okay? I know you people out there, you're drunks, okay? Sorry, little PSA for people out there. You're out there. Are you still able to train much? Are you still able to go out in group rides? Because I'm curious. You're one of the people that are out there. Dan and I are very insulated. We're like veal. We're kept indoors and let outside periodically. But you're outside. You're talking to people. I mean, what do you talk to people about other cyclists? What is their vibe with Lance? That it's a witch hunt, that he's guilty. Kind of clue us on there that what the common Joe might think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do work with people that aren't involved in cycling at all, and it's interesting to hear them talk about it, because they'll always say things like, "Do you think he did it?" And I've read the entire Reasoned Decision, and even my opinion before that was, well, he's doing something, but did he do it? Yes. And then is he going to admit it? And I thought he wouldn't admit anything because of the charges of perjury, but. I don't know. I feel bad for a lot of his fans and the people that put so much effort into Lance, because it was a great story, and what he said was brilliant when he said it on the Champs-Elysees, which was, "I feel sorry that you can't dream this big." I wanted to believe that. I thought that was a great moment. So I feel bad for people that bought into that. But I mean, my thing is, as cliche as it sounds, don't hate the player, hate the game. I want there to be, somebody to take action above Lance. Lance is a cyclist. He was given a lot of power, but there are so many people involved, and everyone's just pointing fingers at the riders and the dopers. And yes, they made mistakes, but there are people above them that knew about this, that should have taken action. You don't dope in an environment that doesn't allow dopers. I mean, you dope in an environment like Lance said. I doped because I could get away with it. Well, why was he allowed to get away with it? Why are we not looking into that? So I don't. Lance to me is a villain. I mean, he's evil in many ways, and the fact that he went after Betsy and Emma O'Reilly and everybody, Paul Kimmage, everybody that tried to ask the dirty question of Lance was basically bullied. I feel sorry for those people. I just wish somebody would look beyond Lance and go above. I wish Lance would help. I'm hoping tomorrow that's what he's going to come out in the interview saying, you know what, I'm a crusader now. I don't care what my fans think. I'm going to help, Mark Paul, I'm going to help make sure that your 8-year-old son, if he wants to become a cyclist, will never have to even think about doping.
You mentioned Crusader. I can't help but notice the jersey there to your right, pink Garmin jersey. It looks like.
Yes. Just got that the other day.
And you so the other, just literally, I mean, just a couple days ago, I'm gonna guess that's the Giro jersey. I'm gonna go out on a limb there.
Yeah.
And you've spent time with Vaughters and the Garmin team. Kind of gave us the vibe there, because you went to places where I kid you not, at the last tour of Missouri, at the opening stage, Levi Leipheimer motions me through the window of the team bus. Come in, Neil. So I start walking in. I literally get up the steps. Johan Brunel's at the top of the steps, looks down and yells at me, goes, "Get out!" But you had that access to go anywhere, and not that Vaughters would yell at me. Me and him are tight, but. So kind of how was it around the bus there, hanging out with those guys?
It's a really cool vibe. I really feel that it's, in my opinion, it's a group of guys that really enjoy riding their bikes. And it doesn't, I mean, it just feels natural. I use the word crusade, but it feels natural with these guys. These guys all are happy to be a part of that team. There's sort of this levity about them, that they're there to race, and it doesn't feel like that pressure that you get from some of the other teams. I've been around some of the other teams. I'm not going to name any names, but there's that pressure of trying to get the results, and I don't get that with Garmin. There's nothing to hide. I mean, I've been to the training camp this year in Tucson. I was there for a couple days, and it feels like a bunch of guys that are just riding their bikes, and they want to do well. And Vaughters has admitted his past, and there's nothing to hide with him as well. yeah, I respect these guys, and that's why I have Riders jersey behind me, because I feel that was a clean win, and I can respect that win. Watching that last year, I believe that was a legitimate win.
And I also want to say to the people I see in the chat room, they're disappointed. We promised full frontal nudity from one of our guests. Mark Paul was like, I can't do that. I'm on TV. And then Rogers, we were kind of hoping maybe you were going to do something.
I don't really think anybody wants. We got a celebrity on the show. I don't think anybody wants to see journalist full frontal.
I just assumed I assumed there was going to be full frontal nudity from someone in Bell News. I might have heard wrong. One last question, Neil. I know you've got a.
I don't know. I'll throw the question back. I'll pull up Betsy and throw the question back at you, Mark. What do you think they're going to talk about tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I need to tune in for tomorrow in a way. It's I kind of got bored of it, to be honest with you, because I felt that it just wasn't. It was always about him, and I'm tired of it always being about him. So I'll watch it tomorrow, but I'm not gonna put the same sort of immediate emergency that the fact that I need to watch it, the urge. I don't know. Maybe I'll drink more.
And that's going to be interesting too. I'll throw it to both you guys really quickly. Both Neils, we both have to watch it for our respective things we do. But Paul, I mean, do you think it is almost overload for Americans that are like, okay, he admitted the doping. We're going to move on here. We don't need to see episode 2.
No, I think America will want to watch it because it's a drama. It's like watching a train wreck. But it's just sad that some people take away from it that because Lance said it, it's a level playing field, and that it's just not. And I feel bad for the other riders because it wasn't a level playing field. But I was reading some comments on Twitter, and some people that are intelligent said, "Yeah, but it was a level playing field." So what I can't stand is that he sued people that were innocent.
Yeah, there is no level playing field at all, and for those who joined us. Yeah, Mark, maybe throw that same question to you. Do you feel like any on a scale, maybe not such a black yes or no answer, but any part of you seems like, okay, he redeemed himself because he did say, hey, yeah, I was a jerk, I was a bully. Was there any part that made him seem a little more human to you?
Well, yeah, there was parts that made him seem more human to me when he said that he was a jerk and a bully, and then he said other things that made me go, well, there's Lance again, right back to the ditch that he dug for himself. So no, he would take a step forward and then take another step back, and step forward, step back. It doesn't change my opinion of Lance. There's really nothing that I think he can do other than what I said earlier was to stand up and say that I'm going to be completely honest and help make the sport cleaner. That he's not doing that. He's not. I don't think he's ever going to do that.
Well, here's
I love the sport.
He said he didn't read Tyler Hamilton's book early in the show. Does anyone believe that? And if the answer is no, you don't believe it, at that point, do you really believe anything that he's saying other than what we've already read in the USADA's reasoned decision? I mean, I thought that was such a mistake. Even if he hadn't read it, he should have known that nobody would believe that he hadn't read it. Of course he's read it. So, right off the bat, he's lying. And then it's like, well, everything else, why should we believe you? You've been lying for 15 years and you just lied 10 seconds ago.